Possible to beat Tron though. We've done it before. We've beaten Tron even without the crumbles. So like, is the matchup really about the crumbles, or is it just you see the burn side of the deck and some snapcasters? You know, I think sometimes when it comes to Tron, it's a combination of those two things, and that's why I thought the Nahiri, bringing the Nahiri in was weird. I think bringing in Nahiri, Jace, Emrakul makes perfect sense against something like Red-Green Tron. I don't know if it makes as much sense against Blue Tron, because like if you're tapping out to play a Nahiri, I think it's a different match. I think against Blue Tron we stay on the Brain in a Jar plan. I think against Red-Green Tron I switch because they're going to bring in removal for the Brain. But Blue Tron doesn't have that, so I think we maybe just sideboard wrong, and that's okay. We need to learn from it. There may be Blue Tron players at the tournament. The most typical build of Tron is what? Red-Green Tron. But there may be Blue Tron players, and they pack more counter magic than we do. Does that mean they should win the match? No. You know, like we go toe-to-toe with Scape Shift all the time. They technically run more counter magic than I do. Don't give up. I think Red-Green Tron's harder because they just have more haymakers than we have answers for. That's my thought process, is that I'm actually just calling it Bird Brain Transfusion now. Yeah, I mean, that's my argument. I was going to test a couple crumbles, though, because I'm humoring what the guys were talking about. I don't think it's necessary, because I think that the match honestly just comes down to you saw some remands and some cryptics and a whole bunch of burn. You know, it's nice to steal games off of sideboard cards. I'd rather just steal game one off of this, though. And again, I'm going to say one last time, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work as intended on Magic Online. In paper, absolutely you can. You can totally boom bust somebody on only 2 charge counters. On Magic Online, you can't. So I'm not doing that side of the boom bust tonight. I'm only going to be able to test the other side of those cards. Both of them. Both of the normal split cards. Few spells are programmed, though, properly. These do work properly with Brain on Magic Online. These do not. But even so, I want to test the cards because I'm considering still running them. Alright, Colonnade. We are 1-1 with the blue-white-red mirror. Well, not with this version, though. We haven't played against blue-white-red with this new version, the one that's dropped this, the Thopter Sword. So I think the last time we lost, we were still on Thopter Sword build. Mismatch. No. No, the mismatch. Don't shadow doubt me, bro. Or Moto's gonna troll us. Yeah, we're just getting trolled here. Sometimes it... Jeez. Did the whole... Oh man, I just like skipped through our whole turn. Okay. It sucks though. You don't get... I mean, if you can't handle Moto errors and Moto bugs, don't play it. Don't even touch it. Alright, he might just be blue-white control. My assumption is he's just drawn his basics though. Let's toss a bolt. Better than not testing at all. Exactly, Corfian. You're talking about these cards? The other types of split cards we're thinking about testing? Yeah, it is better than not testing it at all. Because I am thinking about actually drawing it, or testing it. This is actually over here. This is actually here. This is here. These are here, these are here? You could also argue that these are here, by the way. These, because sometimes they're transmuted. But I like to think that these are here. I think of it like... Okay, we're maybe going to run the Cascade or not. I don't know if I'm getting a Cascade on paper. I'll have to look at my order. Nitron says, I enjoy you playing the deck, however you online test cards knowing that it work. Yeah, I don't care. I'm more interested in testing for the GP than necessarily doing better in the leagues. 100%. These are honestly transmuted a lot, though. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I was putting the explosives on, too. There we go. No, that sucks. I mean, I'd love to have that extra land, because I would have that extra land. Paper, we would have that extra land. On Moto, not so much. It's sometimes going to troll you. Alright, so it is the mirror. And by mirror, I mean he's going to be likely just typical blue-white-red. Typical blue-white-red is not that scary. We might be sitting there like, we don't need the anger, so I could actually just get the fountain. We might be sitting there like, I don't agree with that, BrewSpy. You don't have to. I've played the match, though, multiple times. It's much less scary, because it's rather clunky for them to ever tap out to try to colonnade you. I'm also running a couple tech edges now. Not for this matchup, but... when you see that the price of colonnade is about $45, $40 in paper, you can assume that there are people buying into the archetype. So, I'm just going to chill. You should assume that there are other players playing this archetype. 100%. Lighthouse go. This is wonderful in this matchup. This can break the mirror. And most lists that run Colonnade can't afford Lighthouse, but we get to, which is cool. Yep. Now this could give away that we're more of like a blue-white-red Kiki. This might give away that we're blue-white-red Kiki Angel. I'm actually neither. I'm actually neither. Now the danger if I go for this play here, the loot housing, is the opponent might have an Angel that he flashes in. I'm not that excited about a Helix. I think we just play this, he snares it, it's fine. Snare doesn't happen to a Snapcaster later down the line, or a Remand. We got. Is Assault Battery an option for this deck? No, but it's an option for Brain decks if you want to. I wouldn't run Assault Battery in this thing. I don't think. In the fast matches, Brain is best for its fusion. In the slow matches, besides its fusion, I would argue that it's really nice for its... We're going to have a Restoration Angel. Maybe an Electrolyze. Avacyn. Sphinx's Revelation. What do you got? Cryptic Bounce of Land. Okay. Sure. This is a matchup where it's slow enough that you actually do want to tick this up to set up a 1-mana Cryptic. It's just that slow of a matchup. Or it can be. We got. Lies me? Sure. You could pop off a Remand there, but I'm chilling. Want to save it for a counter war. Now he's on Kiki Angel. Probably. We could be running Cascade in ours. I mean, it helps. It makes the Foundry less awkward. Like if you have this draw, because you filter all the colors off of this, but it's still a red-white duel, which is nice. We got. But this could say that he's on blue-red Flash Kiki, blue-red Sneaky Kiki. Sneaky Kiki, that's hard to say. Restoration Angel style. Catch Release. Catch Release is cool. The problem with Catch Release is it blows up the brain, because you have to sacrifice also an artifact. Would it be good for 1-mana spells? Yeah, we were running, besides Bolt and Path and Snare, we were running for a while Visions. I cut them. I just don't like... I'm just not a huge fan of that card at all. Yeah, we have 8. I have 8 ones. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, technically. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 twos. And then 3s, I have a main deck Anger, 2 Electrolyze. And then 4s, I have 2 Cryptics. Maybe he's on Kiki X-Arch? He could be. He's taking his time. I'll let you know when he makes a game action. And then in the sideboard, I have some more 3s to bring in. We've got an Anger, a Flux. This is a 1 or 2 when it comes to Brain. A lot of times you just decide this out. If you assume... Now, the Bluetron was a weird matchup because they don't have good ways to remove artifacts, so I left this package in. But against most decks, you're actually just going to do full-on transformational sideboard. So what happens is you bring in the Nahiri and Emrakul and or Jace. Jace can also find an Emrakul in your deck. He also finds your opponent's best threat at the same time. A couple more tutor targets in the form of a Celestial and a Wear Tear. They're pretty specific, so I like to leave them in the sideboard, but all the other tutor targets for Muddle is actually in the main deck. Everything from Beck to Boom to Odds to a Helix, a Remand. You can find extra Snapcaster Mages as well, which I find myself doing that, which you could argue Snapcaster Mage one of the strongest cards in the deck. Honestly, in some matchups, like when it turns into a grind, that's actually exactly what the Muddle is transmuted for in the grind matchups. Like, somebody like Jund, outside of maybe a Kulligan's Command, you don't really want to be using the Muddle side. He's still thinking. You don't want to be using the Muddle side. You want to be using the but Kolaghan Smith's great. All right, we're gonna see a Nahiri. So he's gonna counter my remand.
Oh yeah.
And then we're sad. Nope. So this is indicative that he's just straight up on either some combination of Kiki Resto or more likely he's on the Emmy. He's got main deck Verdict. Okay. There's our Beck though. And that's kind of our way back into this match. I'm already at 15, so it doesn't matter. I think I just go ahead and do this now. You could wait. Excuse me, I'm going to tap this to do it. You could wait. I kind of like doing it now. So you did maybe what's supposedly your most powerful thing. I'm going to do my most powerful thing. I'm going to draw 4 cards, buddy. I mean, people think this is powerful. I think she is. I think Nahiri is a very powerful card. Do I think she's main deck material? No. I think that tapping out for 4 mana Walker is hard in Modern. I think 3 mana Walkers like Liliana are much more desirable, but I think she's a fine sideboard plan. All right, let's draw 4. Now, it's nice to do it during his turn instead of my own turn, but I think it's a lot easier to do it while he's only got 2 mana open. I think I will just be discarding the... What? I'm happy just pitching the Helix and the Path, I think, even. Because this game isn't really about creatures anymore, trust me. I mean, he's got some Colonnades. He can't afford to tap out for those plays. Now, he may minus the Nahiri if we're lucky on the Brain. We've already kind of done all that we need to do with it so far. If we keep it, sure, I can do other things with it. But it's kind of okay if he just... Alright, so he's plussing. Draw another Helix anyway. Oh wow, we're gonna see a Colonnade activation? We are gonna see a Colonnade activation. Okay. Okay. Tempted to snap Path. Very tempted. Very tempted to snap Path this. And then get the 4 damage on the Nahiri. You got a Spell Snare? Or do we just Helix it? You could. I'm just gonna snap Path this thing. He's shown he does not have Spell Snare in his hand. Most likely. What else am I spell snaring in this matchup, or do I just want to remand? I mean, like, waterlogging a remand seems ideal. I mean, waterlogging a mana lake, I can play around this for a long time. Now, if he wants to fight here with the spell snare, the Colonnade doesn't get to block, and that's ideal. Yep, he did have the snare, but I don't care because we're getting the damage in on the Nahiri. And that's the awkwardness that is Colonnade. You just saw it here. And the last time we took on a blue-white-red, opposing blue-white-red player, it did involve the fact that they animated a couple times for Colonnade when they probably shouldn't have. What else you got? Sure. When I start playing, you can check my uptime retro style. Its command is, or one of the mods can do it for you. You can check my uptime if you'd like. Yeah, like these birds are just kind of awkward for a lot of the control decks of the format to answer, you know? Thanks, Dan. It's kind of an awkward, you know... It's just kind kind of awkward to fight over. Snare that.